Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hadassah. If this is your first time here, welcome to this amazing family. So guys, this is a tutorial on how to make an off-shoulder wrap top with bell sleeves. Kindly subscribe, but don't forget to like and leave a comment. Yeah guys, here is our African print fabric. I've cut two pieces for both the front part and the back part already. The length being 17 inches and the width being 14 inches. That's enough. Because I'll not be putting any zipper at the back, I won't leave any allowance for the back part. Now let's start measuring. Remember, it's an off shoulder guys, so all our measurements will start from the 5-inch, like in this case here. So I'll start measuring my full length at 17 inches, add 2-inch allowance. Just make a straight line on the marks. I put like this. And then I'll mark my chest line. Remember to start all your measurements from the 5-inch at 8 inches here. My bust line at 10 inches. And then my underbust at 13 inches. After marking them out, I'll make a straight line on the marks. Like that guys. Yeah. Starting from the center front, I'll measure my shoulder length at 7.5, add half an inch to it, so it will be 8 inches. Mark the 8 inches on the chest line and I'll make a vertical line also. Then I'll measure my bust at 9 inches because it's 36. You divide by 4. That distance between that vertical line and the 9-inch, I'll measure that as 1 inch. This will help me draw the armhole curve. I'm adding 1.5 for the seam allowance at the chest line. Then 7 inches for the waist. And I'll just go ahead and make the dots before I add the allowances. Measure your nipple to nipple. I have mine as 3.5. I measure that there. And then I'll measure half an inch on both sides for the dart. Like that. That's what we have. Then I'll add the 1 inch for the dart at the 7-inch, and again add a 1.5 inch seam allowance. Then I'll make a straight line on the marks. What comes next is just to cut the outline. That's what we have. Remember, we have both the front part and the back part cut together. So I'm working on the front part first. I want to make a wrap top and this is what I do. Fold the fabric in this manner. After folding it, I'll make a curve like that. A very smooth curve from that end to this other end. Then I'll go ahead and cut that out, and that's what we have. I'll take another fabric, put that on top of the fabric I just cut, and trace it out, right side facing right side, guys. Then trace that out. I'm tracing everything, and here's what we have. Because I'm not using any lining for this top, I'll fold the curved edges for the two front parts and then make my darts. I'll stitch that on the sewing machine. And then for the back part, I'll also fold at the upper part, the straight edge, and then also stitch the darts. After I was done stitching, guys, here is what I have. I've stitched the darts and the edges. Now it's time to stitch on the sides. Using the measurements you have, mark that on your fabric and then stitch along the marked lines. And this is how I normally do it. I start all the measurements from the center, then stitch on the marked lines. Yeah guys, I stitched that on the sewing machine, and this is what I have. Now it's time to fix the sleeve. I'll make a bell sleeve. With me here I have another piece of fabric which measures 21 inches long, and I'll use about 3 inches to fold the upper part and the lower part, 1.5 inch each. And yeah guys, now at the upper part I'll measure 7 inches, and I want to draw my armhole. This is what I do. I'll just match that on the mark and then make 2 lines. Then I'll use the second line to draw a straight line towards around the corner of the fabric. Now I'll trace it out. And I realized I made a mistake here guys. While tracing out the armhole, you need to fold the upper part first and do the tracing later. Then I'll just cut that out. And here is our first sleeve. I'll do the same for our second sleeve. Then fold the upper part and pass the elastic through the folded part. make sure you don't repeat the mistake I did. I'll do the same also on the round bottom part, and then stitch again on the sides before stitching it on the armhole. And this is how it should look like after stitching it. Yeah guys, I'm done stitching. That's our elastic, and it has come out very nice, and we're almost done guys. Now I'll make 2 ropes for which I'll use to tie on around the waist. This piece measures 3 inches. I'm going to fold it as I'm showing you and then stitch along the sides. After I'm done stitching, this is what I'll do. I'll just stitch it again at the edge of the first part, the front part, and then do the same on this other side.